last race of the year, the end of the road for the current cars, the end of the road for Holden. And for a Lion to roar, it's got to climb over 2 Mustangs. And it's a ripping start for both the boys in the Shell cars. There's nothing in it on the run to 1. Di Pasquale on the inside. Davison fans the throttle, drops into second. And Van Gisbergen is on the attack in 3rd spot on the run to 4.
Van Gisbergen got a great start. Now we're trying to fake left and fire down the inside, but Will's across it. He had it absolutely measured. Contact there with Mark Winterbottom. Was that LeBrock, I think, on the left-hand side? They bumped into turn 4. Someone else has got damaged and parked on the left-hand side.
Golding was mixed up in that as well in the subway entry. Heaps of congestion in the midfield. Courtney in some push and shove. It's a Tickford wall of cars out there. Randall was mixed up in it. So was Jake Kostecki. 0.3 of a second in favour of Di Pasquale on the opening clear lap for him. Then Davison, a tiny margin, then back to Van Gisbergen, who's dropped Feeney off. Turn 8. And having a look down the inside is Mostert on Feeney. Brock covers. At the apex of 9, who's that squeezing down the inside? And Kostecki. I reckon it's Kostecki.
Yep.
It is in 99. Tries to close down on the truck assist car, and that's going to be tied through 11. Ooh. Remember, the tyres are relatively cold, brakes are relatively cold, but their minds are already switched on to 110% commitment for pace.
Strategy of this is important.
Be ready, boys, be ready. Give him a bit of room to get him. Give him a bit of room.
Stop. Oh, he went over that wheel hard. That wheel was sticking out. And he run over that very hard.
You can cop a penalty for that. You've got to make sure that those around you've got clear passage. That'll end up being looked at in race control.
Been affected by the pace and clearly a bit more consumption than normal. There's a left-hand front locked for Randall over the change of surface that Scott, you've been talking about. Oh, and he's off the road now, so that might be damaged front tyre as a consequence.
The left front will hurt. It's going to hurt more than the right front, being obviously a clockwise track. So that's one's going to hurt him.
Mechanical black flag for Jack LeBrock. That was the voice of Paul Martin I could hear in the background. So that's from the heavy breathing that we saw. Whether that's power steering or whether it's engine related, we're not 100% sure. So I just want to understand how much fuel that Will took on. Again, it's in that same range of about 44 odd litres of fuel. And that's to do also with just how much space is available at that point in the race. So here is Jack in the truck assist entry. That car was in the wars somewhat yesterday, as was the team car of Todd Hazelwood. Hazelwood's blazing along nicely, though, in 7th position at the moment.
To get themselves.
That's not have a go at that.
Teams, bad sportsmanship flag to car 17, exceeding track limits.
So exceeding track limits early in the game for Will Davison. I was just about to say something because I saw him tumble down the order, Todd Hazelwood, and then the replay confirmed what I suspected, because I called him 7th a moment ago. Now he's 11th. He's had the world's biggest sprint car slide out there between 13 and 14. And we saw a bit of that yesterday. If you got offline, if you got a little bit crossed up on 13 and then ended up slightly wide of the line, there's no coming back.
There's a wind out there that is going to not be helping them into 13 as well. It's pushing across the nose, and that might be hurting them on the entry to turn 13 there.
Tyres down there. We've got problem with someone in the wall. It's Jake Kostecki, turn 8.
Turn 8.
Tradie entry has wiped the concrete, and off comes that wheel. This will trigger a safety car. Here's the replay. Wide at turn 8, and 8 eats another car, and that's shifted the wall, plucked the left front wheel. Tim Edwards will have dropped his head significantly because that's more damage at Tickford.
Exactly the same spot as Thomas Randall a couple of days ago too. You could see Randall's marks, and Kostecki went straight across them.
So didn't look like he got the inside curb. He's just gone in too hard.
Just wide.
And once you're wide, there is no grip. Look at the energy being soaked across the front of the car. And so now everybody reacts. Everybody in the top 11 so far has come in.
Guys, we're done waiting on fuel here. It's going to be good to go on your drop.
Fortunate for Feeney and Davison to have made those stops.
Yeah, absolutely.
Look at this, boys. So Anton gets out by a car length on Shane. That was critical.
Green flag.
We're green one more time. 58 laps remain. Davison's got control of the field from Feeney. They've made some profit from slightly early stops and a little less fuel than the next group of cars just behind. They're all trying to cycle some warmth into tyres and brakes one more time. And remember that Davison's out of lives when it comes to the turn 2 curbing. Brody on Shane and Cam, and the whole train rockets on by. And that's going to make life pretty tricky now for Van Gisbergen. Waters is up the inside here of Brody as well. It is on.
Bad sportsmanship flag to car 18, exceeding track limits.
Mark Winterbottom in 12th position gets a bad sportsmanship flag and wide. Makes a big mistake. Will Davison turn 9th. Change now for the lead. That's a gift for Brock Feeney.
He had a moment when he pushed the brakes, Neil, and it just had a little slide. It's almost like he locked the rears initially and just went wide.
And you can tell that Shane's mid-corner grip is significantly better than Mostert's at the moment because he's able to run the car narrower everywhere.
Look at this.
He's actually going to do the giveaway.
To turn 8.
He's got it.
Done.
Go.
Yeah, so Chaz has actually just found the throttle.
Did you see Shane on the onboard there? He's actually been able to get Waters too, hasn't he?
Yep.
So he's being very aggressive again now. But did you see Shane? He looked across. He got the inside of Mostert. He looked across. It was like playing a game of chicken by there. Was it? Are you going to let me go? Going to let me go?
Here
Down
it
the
is.
inside. Nice move.
Down the inside again. Waters sees him coming. And for Cam, it's a little bit the same, but not quite as tasty. He's a couple of seconds better off on fuel.
He came from a long way back too. He was, that was one of the big moves for him of the race, really.
But honestly, Scott, I reckon you could probably edit together 20 of those this year.
Yeah.
This is what you picked up on before. It was Mark Winterbottom that ran wide down there at turn 11. So another car falling victim to that slippery surface that we discussed yesterday. And it looks like that may well be occurring again today. So he's dropped a bunch of spots now down into 23rd. Who was that was smoking heavily? Bad for your health and bad for your race car.
I think it was LeBron. Is it LeBron? Yeah.
It is.
I eventually get to a clumsy point here. Feeney going very quick with some tyres that have been used. So he's actually capitalising nicely with the fresh air at the moment.
I used to do it because I was actually buggered. Wasn't because I was trying to do anything.
Oh, he's in.
Off
He's
the
in.
wall. Davison's in the fence. Davison's gone straight ahead. We've seen so many cars off the road here this weekend. Mark Winterbottom just recently, couple of laps ago. That was Heidgartner, but Davison has gone. He went in.
They might recover from this if there's any more weirdness now in this last stint, if there's another safety car, because of the fact that he is potentially fueled to the end. But remember, he's got no more exceedances available to him at turn 2. And he's now going to run that tyre set very long to the end of lap. He's got 40 laps.
Di Pasquale.
Oh, wide, and a change for the lead. I beg your pardon, change for second. So Shane goes through to second. And so that's a second of the Shell cars making a critical mistake.
Inside front lock him.
Oh, good. In the fence. That's turn 8. That's forward. That's more damage. This will be another safety car. This will erupt. The pit lane will go completely mad now.
I'm going to leave it to you guys now.
Sorry, guys.
Oh, he had it massively sideways and has just thumped it into the fence like a speedway car. Though he has been fully disconnected in the rear of the car and has just whacked that wall.
Oh.
And so turn 8 continues to be a car eater out there again today. But the field fully condensed, and Van Gisbergen's just been chewed up in that whole process. Feeney's back out now in front of Mostert. Di Pasquale, Waters.
We haven't seen one of those all weekend.
With the rear going in.
No. Put on 100 litres. Oh, there's been a drama in pit lane. Someone had just fallen over. There's something in the fast lane.
Yeah,
the hose or...
Well, the truck assist guys, they've taken a line down there with them, I'd say. So someone's hooked it on a rear wing.
On a wing, yeah.
Haven't seen that for a while.
Waiting for Percat to get in behind Winterbottom and rejoins. It's intense out there at the moment. So they're all scrambling. Here's what's happened. They've
still in.
Yeah, so they've actually taken... That's the water bottle. So that's the refresher for the water. And they'll cop a penalty for that. And lucky nobody's been injured, it seems. They dragged the water bottle down there. So he wasn't able to unhook the dry brake on it. So they are going to double stack. Feeney had track position, which effectively hurts Shane. And he had a lot of fuel to stick in, so he had 100 odd litres to deliver.
He won't get out. You're supposed to sit alongside that car.
Yeah, be good to go
So
on
the
your
double
front
stack here, you will not be able to get out. They're going to be bluing here. There's going to be a...
Okay, go.
Control of the field is now held by Brock Feeney. We have now gone green. They can't overlap it till they get to the apex. They can't pass till they get to the control line. Hold your breath, cross your fingers. Are they going to be able to get through this first or second restart lap? Was there a pass by Van Gisbergen at the last corner? Shane was very close to passing, and we've got Randall pointing the wrong way. So there was a bit of roughing up going on back in the pack. Feeney's bolted. Trouble at 9. We've got Reynolds, and we've also got Courtney and Davison's parked up on the right-hand side. More trouble at turn 9. What on earth has unfolded down there? And there's a lot of dirt on the racetrack as well.
All clear, mate, all clear.
So who did what to who down here? So it's a dive bomb. So Will slides into Reynolds. Brody's got nowhere to go. Will ends up rally crossing on the top of the dirt. Courtney's on the outside. We'll keep the live pictures alive down here as well. So down the inside comes Davison, into the side of Reynolds, who was chasing Brown, who almost gets tagged by Kostecki in the process, and Courtney's got nowhere to go.
So Will was defending and just went a little bit too deep defending, probably looking at his mirrors, a little bit of pressure there, and then too deep.
Well, he was defending Brody, wasn't he?
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah. What a calamity.
All going on out there at the moment. 27 laps remaining. We've been racing for an hour and 18 minutes. The track's slippery. There's a bit more cloud cover. We've got a 20-year-old who's never won a main game supercar race. He's leading, and here's the replay of what happened to Smith. Well wide between 13 and 14. Wipes it on the wall, plucks the mirror off, might have got away with it.
Jeez, we've sent some cars off at that spot too, haven't we? Feeney, there's no margin on the inside there, using every little bit of road at the apex. He's doing a really good job. Could this be the day for his debut win, the final race for Holden on the streets of Adelaide?
Next in the queue for him could be Cam Waters, and that's him with the Monster Energy Mustang up here at turn 4. Because Cam's got his hands full as well. And he's trying to put a move on there at the moment because we saw Anton shallow into 5. They're running wide. He's run wide. They're going to gift another spot to Van Gisbergen. So as that little manoeuvre was being pulled there between Anton on the left and Cam on the right, he's run wide, and Van Gisbergen's just seen the seas parted in front of him.
Copy that, mate. Copy that. Let's just get this home now. Let's get this car home.
This is the run where he's been looking for. Now, I reckon he's close enough this time. He lunges, he locks the rears. He locks the rears, but he gains it up. He's going to be on the inside for turn 11, and he's been able to get it done. Wow. What a great piece of car control at the end of the braking area there.
Race control to all teams. Pit lane drive-through penalty to car 1, safety car restart breach.
Oh my goodness me.
We're going to drive through, mate. We're going to drive through to this.
Car 1, PLP, done for the safety car restart procedure. So have a look at it.
For what?
Just listen.
The safety car restart.
So,
how can they do that?
overlap before the apex.
That's the apex, he made a mistake.
Overlap before the apex is what they're saying. Shane's saying he went wide and missed the apex.
Joke, man, that's one of the worst calls. Oh well.
The drive-through penalty, what's your understanding of that?
Well, they did an investigation, then cleared it, and then they decided to reopen it again. What's under question is the overlap at the last corner, yeah, the car ran wide. So anyway, we're serving the drive-through penalty. It's unfortunate, it's disappointing, but we've still got car 80 out at the front.
Thanks, Jamie.
Thanks.
Yeah, that's where some of the confusion will lie. And what Shane will be saying is that Lee Holdsworth ran wide there.
It's an awkward one.
Chaz is using a different line on the run into turn 11 there. He's actually using the cushion up on the berm effectively on the outside of the approach to turn 11. So here is Holdsworth in the foreground, followed by Brodie Kostecki. These fellas are battling for 7th and 8th at the moment. There is in the background the subway entry of James Golding. And in behind James, we've got Shane Van Gisbergen. What they've got is what they've got, and Mostert just made a little mistake down there that time.
He did, he had a big slide going, a lot of wheel spin. And that final sector's knocking Mostert around. He was actually on for his fastest lap of the race on that previous lap, and that mistake at the last corner. See how he dumped some time there in that last sector. So 32.9, the fastest for Van Gisbergen. He did a 33.27, so almost 4/10 away in the last sector. That was a critical lap. Give me the numbers, because he was, again, slightly faster. He was the second fastest car. Van Gisbergen was fastest, but he was a lot faster than Mostert.
Scott McLaughlin is nervously shuffling in here like he's driving the lead car. This is a big lap for Brock Feeney. His family are watching. His team are watching. Martin Short, his engineer, will not blink, will not breathe. Roland Dame, dare not take a breath. All of the sponsor group in the background are watching this. They've invested in Brock Feeney. They took a punt. He's 6th in the championship. He's staring at the numbers. He's got to tackle this critical corner one more time at 8. He pops out the other side. He's got just over a second in hand. Now the critical braking application into turn 9. Out the other side. He's got to negotiate the highly slippery turn 11 one more time. And he clears that process. He did it shallow. He's done it easily. He's got a 1 second margin. He's got to put the foot on the brake for that final opportunity to stop this car. And he pulls it up nice and straight. At the apex of the turn, Brock Feeney advances the throttle. Brock Feeney, take a bow. Your very first supercar victory. And it is farewell Holden. What a way to finish for the 20-year-old. What a way to send off the nameplate.
You can do this, mate. You can do this. Just look up for the
And Chase Mostert, P2.
You are a legend.
First ever win for this man. Great drive.
Absolutely fantastic. Life-changing day for Brock Feeney. 20 years of age. Wins one of the biggest races in this country. And he wins the last race of the official Holden factory racing in supercars. What an unbelievable result for him, and what a day, what a drive.
It's a pleasure to witness that. I had goosebumps as he goes across the line. What an awesome moment for the young bloke to win Holden's final race for Triple A and his first race in supercars. What a place to do it as well in front of all these fans.
That was Roland Dane in tears. Martin Short, the engineer, in tears.
Awesome job, man.
Brock Feeney with a sparkle in his eye and some smoke in the cockpit.
I'll tell you what, in sector 2 through turn 8, he did his personal best on the last lap. That's pretty brave.
Yes, absolutely. 78 laps in and you throw it in there at 8 and hope it comes out the other side. Good on him. Great young guy.
Shane's come up to congratulate him. That's a nice gesture, Neil.
It is. And he pressed on at the end there. Van Gisbergen finished in 7th. So I rattled through some of the things that he's achieved. I wonder where Mum and Dad are. They'll be down there somewhere.
Yeah, I just saw Dad just down there with Roland just then. So this is going to be a bit of a burnout-a-thon now, because he got one doing it. We also know that Shane's going to do this based on winning the championship. So spectators are going to be treated to plenty of post-race activity.
It's Iron Holdsworth as well.
Oh, last race for Holden. I missed that one, sorry. Yeah.
Hopefully he's been listening to Shane on how to do burnouts, because I tell you, Shane's very good at them.
He'll be blown away by this. And a big comeback from yesterday. He was off the road twice yesterday, came home in the top 10 in 8th position. So to be able to achieve that victory today, and he didn't blink. So in that last stint, every time we looked down, fastest, fastest, fastest. So he did it with speed.
Yeah, that last stint was phenomenal for Brock. Really good.
And he led 54 laps of 78. I mean, that's not just lucky. So Shane now celebrating his Repco Supercars Championship victory for 2022.
When I interviewed him the other day, he said he was going to do that. I'm glad he did. That's really cool.
Yeah, that's great. Cool. And how appropriate to do it over the top of the Adelaide, South Australia sign for the final event. I picture that engine's loving that.
Yeah.
I don't reckon the bitumen is.
And a a couple of cheap valve springs that we can give away here.
Wow. I think he's going to get out of the car while he does it. Shane's still running. Still running. How good is that?
That's awesome.
Hey, minute. Does he know? At the track.
Oh, he's got it.
He's blocked something
awesome.
on the throttle, hasn't he?
I want to check the fuel number and see how long it's going to run for.
But he's blocked the throttle. He's blocked the throttle to keep it going. We'll have to talk to the Premier again about resurfacing this joint.
Do not attempt this in your own home.
That's funny.
Well, 21 victories for him in 2022. Another bundle of points today. Supremely confident and accurate performance in 2022 to be able to pick up another championship.
Yeah, tyres, both rear tyres are blown out now. So let's stop. That's it.
3 times Supercar champion. Runner-up in 2014, 2018, 2019, P3 in 2020. Scotty, you've had some ripping brawls with him along the way as well. Some good stuff, some bad stuff, and in between. Brock Feeney, having qualified in 3rd position, wins his first supercar race. Chaz Mostert, position number 2. He did it after 78 laps of racing with a margin of less than a second. Anton de Pasquale, the first of the Fords, in 3rd position. Cam Waters, big weekend for him. Followed then by Heimgartner, Brown, Van Gisbergen, up and down today, but an unbelievable show at the end. Kostecki and Holdsworth, who we just had the conversation with, and James Golding in 10th position. Now, champ points. Bit of movement here. 615 the margin between Van Gisbergen and Waters at the end of 34 races. Moving up 1 spot into 4th, De Pasquale. His teammate Davison dropped a spot. Brody went up a spot. David Reynolds went down. Andre Heimgartner swept into the 10th position.